better. Kiana Sage here from Being in Sync 366 video series. Trying to find the right lighting. Today's video is courtesy of somebody yesterday who was talking and said, Kiana, energy is just energy. Is that so? So I wanted to have a conversation about that topic today. So my name is Kiana Sage, and I guide people to peace, and I do that through a process called energy psychology. Now, the question I often get is, I don't really understand, Kiana. What is that? What is it that you do? And it's really like nothing else I've ever seen or experienced through another practitioner. But energy psychology is the ability to repattern your energy field to be in alignment with your soul. So some people are, I don't know what my soul is doing or is happening, or, you know, people are so disconnected from their soul, they don't even understand what the purpose of their life is, and they've been disconnected. So I help people to reconnect with their inner guidance. And, you know, some people think that they don't need that help, and that's okay. And then there are other people who are on the spiritual journey that know there's something else. There's something bigger within themselves, and they want to align. And so I help people do that. And when you align, you become more efficient, more clear, more productive, happier, and more aligned to your purpose. So that brings all good things. It's not always easy, which is why I help people to align to their soul, because it's not an easy path to do on your own, because we don't do anything alone. We do everything in alignment with others, and they are just merely reflecting us. And how we interpret that reflection really determines a lot of our path. And the lack of interpretation will also determine the path. And you can get misdirected and turned around. Hi, Eric. Good to see you. Yay, you made it today. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Hey, Roberto. Good to see you. So I see some of you are joining, so thank you for being here. So the topic today is about energy, and is energy just energy? And I would say, hey, Nick, good to see you. And I would offer you this: are all attitudes equal? Is everything, is a good attitude the same as a bad attitude? Is a positive outlook the same as a negative outlook? Is the density, is the feeling of being in alignment the same as not being aligned? And so when somebody says, is energy just energy, Kiana? I think that all is dependent on how you perceive consciousness. You know, do you think all consciousness is the same? Do you believe or know that there are higher levels of consciousness and lower levels of consciousness? And do you see those as being equal? Is energy just energy? I think it just depends on how you look at it, and what your experience is, and how much is your ego playing into what it is that you're willing to perceive or know. So I think it's an interesting question, and I'm curious, what do you guys think? Do you think that all energy is just energy? So is it all equal? Or could there be different levels and densities to energy? What do you think? I'm going to see what you guys are saying in the chat about energy. So Rose is saying scientifically proven. What is proven? So she says, yes, scientifically proven, yes, energy is just energy. And I would say the science doesn't understand energy. Not all science understands the natural laws. A lot of things that happen with consciousness are still being studied, and science doesn't really understand it. So do you still believe that the science is correct? Rose, that's a question for you to ponder. I'm going to put my glasses on for this. That one crazy Terran twin, because we were all playing basketball. Wait, I thought you had a real answer here. What's your qualification on the subject? My qualification, well, I gave that at the beginning of the video, your Irish friend, but I conduct what's called energy psychology. So I I help people align to their soul. What is my qualification? This is what I do all day, every day. Do I need a certificate to say that I'm qualified? I don't think so. You have your own experience to understand my qualifications. I know what I know. I know that I get results better than anybody else I've met. But you're my Irish friend. You know, you have to determine for yourself, because this is what I offer to my clients, is to they define for themselves. I don't think that all energy is energy. I think that there are different levels of consciousness. I know that there are different levels of consciousness and access to consciousness, but a lot of people have different ideas about energy depending on their level of consciousness, and also dependent on how involved their ego is in their differentiation of their knowing. Ha! Alex, energy makes things go. Yes, it does. Oh, I know I'm late today. Do you know this is video 200 and Methuya? I know I'm saying this wrong. Methuya. I'm sorry, I am late today. This is video 237. And you know, today I was like, I really don't want to do this video. Yesterday the chat was off the hook and I thought, oh, do I really want to go do this video? There was no good questions in the chat. The chat was really not very nice and friendly, and they weren't very engaged. They were hostile, and I just didn't really want to engage with that again. But here I am. I'm here. I'm here for another day to be with you all, to be in alignment, in sync, and to provide different perspectives on different things. And all allies is saying peace to you all. Yes, peace to you all. Alex is saying, what did I miss? New. We're still talking about it. Vishnam is saying energetic psychopath. Well, psychopaths are definitely misdirected in energy. So maybe you're onto something, Bishman. Maybe you are onto it. Okay. Alex. Joel. Joel, I am totally connected to Christ consciousness. Thank you for your comment. Big TC, do you give black people a chance? I'm aligned to one. Your Irish friend says, best of luck with that. I don't need any luck. I am in pure alignment to God. Thank you. It's much better than luck. Gustavo says, I love to hear Ram Dass and Alan Watts about the whole of consciousness. I'm not a Ram Dass friend or foe, but I do really enjoy Alan Watts. I really enjoy the tone, how he speaks, the rhythm. When he speaks to me, it's like music. And the words that he speaks are so profound. So yes, I would agree with you. Fresh is saying, hope you're having a great day. Thank you, I am. Thank you, Azir, good to see you. Hi, and love seeing you in the chat. Oliver says, very interesting topic. Energies have varying levels of strength. Well, that would depend on the level of density. I would agree. So I think depending on how you perceive multidimensionally. So if you only believe that what you see is what is, then you're missing out on so much. Especially since so much is happening in the unconscious realms, right? I agree with you, Oliver. Ali is saying the path to truth is not easy, but it's worth it. I agree, Ali. One must burn the fire of love and truth to give others warmth and light. Ali, I agree. And also, yesterday I did this a tea ceremony for my healing group, and it's a silent meditation where you commune with the living tea. And the tea was called Your Inner Light. And one of the messages was essentially what you're saying here is that when we align to our inner light, we align to the truth, and the truth is all that is. And the more that we acknowledge our inner light, the truth expands within our field. Something like that. I have it written down, but it was something like that. So thank you, Ali, for being here. Hello, James from Ghana. Jason, wrong channel. Oliver's saying not all energies are equal. It also depends on not how we perceive energy would be based on our access to consciousness, how expanded in consciousness we are, how connected to our heart we are, how connected and how much we have challenged the beliefs, our conditions of what we've been taught, what we believe to be true, how willing and curious are we to go into the unknown. So our energy is based on our perceptions, and our perceptions are based on our reality, and our reality is always going to be based on what we believe, and what we believe is always going to be connected to our access to consciousness, and what multidimensional accesses we have allowed to come into our physical experience. I think I had somebody tell me yesterday that all energy is energy, and they said it from a very condescending, with a condescending tone, and it was an interesting opportunity for me to pose that question for this video, because I think a lot of people don't understand that their perception of what is based on how open or closed they are. So this particular person was saying they were one way, but my experience of them was very different. So they're saying, "Hey, I'm open, tell me anything," but I'm not buying it. So they were really incongruent from my experience. And so was their perception that energy is just energy? You could believe whatever you want. They didn't want to acknowledge that they were perceiving things from fear. So I'm not in fear, so therefore it's not. And denial is going to keep you from the truth, right? It's going to block access. The type of energy you're measuring. Well, I think when you're talking about measures, the measures of energetics would be based on perception, and also it would be based on density. So density is how much light you can hold in your body, or cellularly can hold, because we obviously our cells are always communicating. And sorry, my dog wants to go inside. Hold on. Excuse me. So it just really depends on density. So The more light you hold, the less dense you'll be, the more you will perceive. So the more open you are, you will have less closed systems. You don't want to have any closed systems, really. And you don't want to have, think of closed systems like open source. You know, when things get open sourced, you have more potentials, more opportunity. When things are closed and limited based on beliefs, you have less potentials, less access. I'm not picking up on you, Garv, but I appreciate you being on here. Could you imagine if I would tap into everybody that was on these chats? The truth is God and Yeshua, Vanessa is saying. Christ consciousness. Arteria is saying, need angel guideline. Ask for your personal angels to come in. Rosa! Good to see you, Rosa. Hi, Kiana. Energy is a vibration, good or bad. It creates good or bad experience. Well, I would offer, Rosa, that good and bad, that's our perception, right? So what if we didn't judge it? What if we didn't judge energy at all and it wasn't a good or a bad? It was, our perception was neutral, so then we can be an observer. Then what happens? Open. You just allowed those potentials to change and open. Vanessa's, I see you. All right. Ollie's got some wisdom. Iron sharpens iron. We are all here to learn from one another in this journey. Our learning is the key to our access to higher consciousness, I believe, Ollie. How open we are to shifting, changing, and aligning to the good, the God in all of us, you know, and even when people are closed, that doesn't mean we can't hold potentials for them. Stardust. Hi, everyone from the UK. Hello, Stardust. Good to see you. Sassy Sunny is here. Is asking for a recap. We're talking about, is energy just energy? And everybody has a different perception of that. Ollie is saying the fire of love and truth does not burn anything else other than what we are attached to, right? We want to be a non-attachment. So we better not be attached to loved ones and those things. Like, it's just about being in the flow of life, Ollie. Vanessa is saying we have a war going on as of now. Yeah, I would say, Vanessa, people have an inner conflict. People have inner wars, and we have a spiritual war. So I would definitely agree with you. And feeding that war outside of yourself is not the answer. It's about how do you create a space of neutrality within, and that influences the collective consciousness. Vanessa is saying we need to bring together all of humanity. We are always connected to the collective consciousness. And it's not about making big waves. It's about tiny ripples. And those tiny ripples make a big difference. Obviously, Vanessa, you know this. And how could we be more kind to ourselves and others? How can we be more loving to ourselves and others? How can we be more humbled to ourselves and others? How can we be more disciplined for ourselves and others? How can we be more committed to ourselves and others? How can we be in more service to God and service to others? It's like all of that. And if we just do little things each day, like my little part is like every day coming out here to give a video that gives a different perspective on how to align to the natural laws. You know, these are very esoteric ideas for a lot of people that don't know a lot about energy and don't know a lot about the practices of being in alignment. And so every day I'm just trying to give a different perspective. That's my little bit of service to humanity in addition to other things that I do. But I just really want to do these videos, number one, to be in service, number two, to put out new information for other people, and number three, to just spread the consciousness of higher Christ consciousness, the tenets of building a nice, strong spiritual inner strength within that makes us all stronger, and that assists humanity in my. It's little ripples, Vanessa, little ripples. Benjamin, no drink today. And I do not speak Hindi. All right, no question. So, Jesse is saying, where does energy come from and how do you know it's true? Vanessa says, your vibrations are very strong. Yes, I agree. Vanessa, I'm just a mirror for you. Okay, so Jesse is asking, where does energy come from? Life force? Energy comes from life force. What do you think life force is? One of my clients today, and I think would be a really helpful for many of you. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, if it doesn't help you, you don't have to do anything with it, okay? So, but the question, who am I? People often ask this question, who am I? But they don't have an answer to it. So the repercussions of not knowing who you are, and the key word is knowing, then you tend to deny your knowing in other ways. So you could know something, like I've known energy and spirits and entities. I've known the experience of that since I was a little girl, but nobody spoke of it when I was growing up. Nobody affirmed or negated it, but I always knew that there was something beyond the veil, that beyond the eyesight, beyond that aspect, that we could see at different levels and different consciousness and different dimensions. And what I have known is that we are all part of creator, life force energy. But there are aspects of energy that have been misdirected, misled, and forgotten the truth of who they are. So what I would offer to you, and I offered to my client earlier today, that it'd be very helpful for you to know, who are you? Like, how do you know you're knowing? Because you got to feel it. So how do you know what you know? And where do you get that from? Where does that come from? Because it's going to be different for all of us. And it's not going to be from your intellectual mind. And here's why I'm going to tell you. Because spiritual aspects do not work in logical, chronological order. That's what we've been conditioned to think like. But spirituality works in circular. It does not work how you think. So you got to really see things from a different angle, a different perspective to understand. And yes, Vanessa, we are all energy. We are all co-creators. We are all part of source and life force. But when we have closed systems, and I'll go back to Jesse's question, when we are closed, let's just say we're in our mind often, we're not in our hearts. If we're in our mind, we will create what's called closed systems. And for many people, they have what's called reversal energies. When those reversal energies are active and not aligned with truth, it will close down your access to life force. So that's when people get exhausted, tired, depleted, drained. They have their energy being siphoned and they don't even know it. Ali is saying, close your, I think, eyes and let go of everything, both good and bad. Become empty and everyone and everything, and give the moment to God. The true submission to your creator. I think we're all working in co-creation, Ali. Yes, every day. Vanessa is saying, what you put out in the world is what you get in return. Vanessa, this is true. And you're able to see, like, Not all people, like the reason why I didn't want to do today's live is because the chat was so hostile yesterday and angry. They did not like my message, which is okay. It's okay to not agree with everything that I say. I'm okay with that. But we must be willing to challenge ourselves and our ideas and our ways of thinking so we can expand. And yes, Vanessa, I'd say what we put out is what we get. But Vanessa, I would offer this too. So many of us have gone into agreement with things that we're unaware of or unconsciously in agreement to. And if we don't acknowledge or cancel those agreements, we could put out a lot and stuff could still be siphoned from us. Benjamin, what are you saying? Eating animals that are inhumanely mistreated bring bad and Benjamin is asking, is eating animals that are inhumanely mistreated bring bad energy to me? And Benjamin, based on how you posed the question, I think you've already answered it for yourself because you have beliefs about animals being mistreated, and therefore you are seeing that as bringing bad energy. What I will say is that we are all energy and everything has cellular memory. So I think this is one reason why it's so important to have a clearing or a blessing or an acknowledgement for whatever you're consuming, because everything is alive, right? Even broccoli and spinach, it was alive at one point and then you're consuming it. So does that bring bad energy? I would say that determines on the cellular content and how you are aligning the food before you consume it. So I bless all my food before I consume it, everything I drink, everything I eat. And I am very aware of my beliefs about food. And I would offer to you to challenge some of your beliefs about food because that changes how your body processes food. And this is coming from somebody who had to really retrain myself around food because at one point it didn't matter if I was eating food that was quote unquote good or bad, organic or inorganic. My body was receiving food as a foreign and I was rejecting everything. And that was just telling me how misaligned I was physically, mentally, emotionally, and cellularly. And I had to really work a lot of personal work, a lot of healing that needed to be adjusted so my systems could realign and reset. And that takes a lot of diligence. So I would say bad energy is a perception as well, Benjamin. Okay. I don't think energy is to be judged, good or bad. It's just, it is perceived. And then you see, is this in alignment with me or not? And there's no good or bad. It's just like, is this in alignment? Jesse is saying, is it a belief? I think you're saying belief and a feeling, or can it be proved? I don't know what you're saying, Jesse. Sorry. Rosa, can we protect our energy? I think, Rosa, I think that's a very interesting question because that is exactly what prompted this video. So you're very intuitive, Rosa. And the question from the person yesterday that was asking me a question, she's saying, well, you just need to protect yourself. And I said, well, protection is stemming from the framing that of fear. And so I'm not buying into that. So no, I don't protect my energy. I do make sure I can see, sense, and feel in the field. And so I have tools and techniques in which I do that. And some of those tools and techniques have programs, just like you program Your computer, you can program your energy when you understand how energy works. And you could put intentions into your field to keep certain energies away. So that aren't in alignment with your highest good or in alignment with God and sovereignty and freedom. You can do all kinds of things when you understand how energy works and how you can work in the field. Jesse is saying, so is it an opinion how I see it different from the way you see it? Or is it absolutely true the way you see it? Jesse, what I would offer is that you have a unique perspective, and that would be based on your experiences, based on your wisdom, based on your inner connection, and that would be very different than how I am perceiving or experiencing. And I would say that they're both equally beneficial and also true for each other. Your perception may not be equal to my perception, and vice versa, and they're both our experience. So I wouldn't negate your perception or opinion. I would just say that doesn't resonate with me, but I don't know what your opinion is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you can have an opinion and we can agree to disagree. I think that's healthy. And we can have a differences of opinion and still have a mutual admiration for each other as humans, for being on this journey, for being on the spiritual journey, for even being willing to engage in the question, right? Because how many people are unwilling to even, which is my experience of the person yesterday, to even be willing to engage it, that they had fears, that they were in denial of. I'm not afraid, is what she said. I'm not in fear. It's a semantics word, Kiana. And I was like, this isn't semantics. This is perception. It's how you're seeing things. That's not a semantics game. That's a perception. And that's okay. We can use different words. But how we are perceiving and approaching things determines a lot of our outcomes and our results. So it's really important. It's not just about choosing the right words, but it's about aligning to the right frequency, you see. I hope that helps. Rosa, I hope you understood what I was saying. Ali is saying, since the good is so difficult to let go of, it becomes easier when you trust Creator, the most merciful. Yeah, I think obviously, Ali, you have built a very strong inner connection, and your inner strength shines through in your service to your Creator. And you are a creator. Vanessa, that's why you pray before you eat everything. I pray to be in alignment every day, every single day, every day. I want to align more and more and more because I know that the potentials are infinite. Jesse is saying, from what I get, it's all about these opinions are subjective. Energy is going to be based on your understanding and perception. But I will tell you, your perception, Jesse, is going to be based on your beliefs. And if your beliefs are based on science, you are going to be missing a massive part of the spiritual journey, because the spiritual journey is not known to the science. I just got off of a phone call with a client who's had 3 near-death experiences, keeps going back to the doctors who keep misdirecting her repeatedly. I'm not saying the doctors are bad, but she has multiple experiences of being misguided, misdirected by the science, but she keeps going back to it. And I think there needs to be a balance, is what I'm saying, Jesse. Vanessa, because the people who make, Vanessa says, the people who make and produce the food could have negative impacts on your temple. Vanessa, I've told this story before. I'm going to tell it again because I think it's so powerful. I used to order food from this organic, very healthy food service. This is pre-COVID. The food was delicious. It was so flavorful and it was pure. And then all of a sudden, it didn't taste the same. Same ingredients, everything was the same dressing, same food, same vegetables. Everything was the same. I could see the ingredients, but it didn't taste the same. And it was so distinct. Like this went on for 2 weeks. And finally I called them and I said, what did you guys do? The food, everything looks the same. I'm saying to you exactly what I said to them, but it tastes different. What did you do? How did you know? We moved facilities. And the facility that they moved to, whether it was the stress or strain, the food did not taste the same. I never went back to them, and they did not correct the situation that was causing the issue. And I'm not going to go into what I think that was, but it was definitely dark and nefarious and unpleasant. And even organic food can be manipulated through intention. So intention is very important. And I have a free intention setting course on here if you're interested. Ali says, the Creator is the eternal refuge. So seek His protection and walk the earth like the lion or the lioness. All right. But never be arrogant or boastful. Yes. Humble. Yes. Got to be out of the ego, Ali. All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate you being here in the chat. I appreciate your attention, your willingness to share and contribute, and to look at this interesting question. Rosa, it's so good to see you all here in the chat. I appreciate you. And, I just want to say, the reason why I didn't want to do this video today and why I was later was because of yesterday's chat was so, as I said earlier, so ridiculously rude. And I'm okay with, people saying and disagreeing with me. But then today I was reaffirmed by you all. And I just want to say thank you for being willing to look at energy and how energy could be perceived differently by all of us through our connection, our inner strength, through our willingness to disengage from the ego mind and connect with our heart and really see life in its possibilities. And here you all showed up, and I thank you for that. I really appreciate you. I really love when you guys are willing to go deep with me and to try new things and to look at things differently. And may you all have a beautiful day. I am Kiana Sage, and I guide people to peace. And have a great day. Yes, Rosa, right back at you. Vanessa, all of you, thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye. See you tomorrow.